The figure below is made up of two squares, so one square and two square, and two identical semicircles. It told us that E is the midpoint of AB, which means that these two lengths are the same. This will be convenient. And then G over here, where G is also the midpoint of DC. Okay, so they asked us to find the area of the shaded parts over here, so which is these two. In order to find the shaded part, what we need to do is actually to find the area of the square, and then we need to find the area of this quadrant, because this is a square, so this will definitely be a quadrant. And then we take the square minus the quadrant. So let's just do this step by step. So let's find the area of the square first. The area of the square over here, okay, so let me just draw out this square for you all. So, okay, my drawing is not fantastic, but I think for this it will do fine. Now, it is given that over here to here is 42 cm. Now, I'm going to cut this square into two. Okay, sorry, I'm going to cut this square into 4 parts actually. If you all remember what your teacher taught you, since this is 42, this entire thing will also be 42. Which means that this perpendicular height, right, will be half of 42, which will be 21. So I'm going to find the area of this triangle. The formula for area of triangle is half times base times perpendicular height. So the base of this triangle is 42 and the perpendicular height is 21. So the area of this triangle, so I'm going to put triangle, will be half times base times perpendicular height. Given that our base is 42 and our perpendicular height is 21, okay, let's throw them inside calculator and then see what we get. So half times 42 times 21, that will give us 441. Since this square is made out of two triangles, we will just multiply it by 2. So I'm going to put here the square will be 2 times 441, giving us 882 cm square. Okay, so first step done. So this one is at least 1 mark for you all. Now let's just move on to this quadrant over here. Do you realize that this one is 90 degrees and this entire thing is 180 degrees? Which means that this quadrant is half of the entire semicircle, because 90 over 181, right? So this quadrant is half of the entire semicircle. In order to find the semicircle, we need to get the radius, but conveniently it was given to us because the radius is 21, right? Because from here all the way to, if I cut it down over here, this is 21 cm, which is just half of the 42 cm. Now, since the radius is 21 cm and I just want to find half of this semicircle, so I'm just going to write semicircle. I'm going to find a semicircle first. The semicircle is half of a circle, right? So half of a circle, the area of the circle, the formula is pi r squared. So pi times r, that will be half times pi given to be 22 over 7. So I'm going to write 22 over 7 multiplied by radius given to be 21, radius. Okay, so let's see what does it get us. But before we do that, let's try to simplify this. So if we divide this 2 by 2, you will get 1. Divide this one by 2, it will become 11. Divide this one by 7, it will give me 1. Divide this one by 7, it will give me 3. So it is 11 times 3 times 21. So let's just do 11 times 3 times 21. That will give us 693. Very conveniently, this quadrant plus this quadrant is one semicircle. So actually we already got it because we found one semicircle. So the last step we need to do is to get entire square, which we already have found out over here, minus these two quadrants, which adds up to become a semicircle, which is this. So the area of the shaded part, right? So I'm going to put here shaded part will be 882 minus 693. And what will that give us? That will give us 189 cm square. Okay, now for parents who are watching this, do you realize that every single time before I do the question, I'll try to rationalize the entire question out. I will not just go ahead and do it, but I'll try to think, okay, in order to find this, let's backtrack. In order to find the shaded part, maybe perhaps I need to find the square first. Okay, and then after I find the square, I need to find the quadrant. Okay, so in your mind, you must always remember, in order to find this, I need this, and then I need this. So always try to remember, and what do you need? So all these are the things I need before I perform my final numbers operation. Explain this to a child instead of just going straight into the question and start doing, because the process of rationalizing is a lot more important than a numbers operation. Math is a very logical subject, okay? So numbers operation is just the skills that you need. Without the rationalizing, there is no thinking process to guide the skills. Always remember that. Alright, done.